My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
It's The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
This is The Other Side of Midnight. I'm Frank Morano. Well, this is a real treat for me. I am very, very pleased to be joined by not only a legendary actor who was a staple of television and remains a staple of television in the sitcom and drama and action worlds, but someone that is doing a lot of great things for the cause of MS, because I didn't know this, but March is actually MS Awareness Month, and is the host of a terrific show on Amazon called Divine Renovation. I'm very, very pleased to welcome Erik Estrada, legendary actor, best known for playing Punch on Chips, a police officer, the host of Divine Renovation, and the co-author of the new book, Officer Erik and the Very Special Dad. Erik, it's great to have you on the radio. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you. You speak very well of me. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Well, for some people, it's easier than with others. Hey, you know what's amazing is it's been at least 40 years since Chips was off the air. Yet
49.
49 years. Jeez, almost
49. Yeah.
My goodness. So what's amazing, though, is that I feel like it's still on the air because it's been consistently played in reruns for over 4 decades. Right. Do you find because the show is still on that you're still getting new fans of Chips?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And definitely the people who saw the original airings, because I do a lot of appearances around the country and I travel quite a bit. But yeah, we got new kids. The parents will tell me, my daughter loves you, and she'll come over, a little girl, a little boy, and they're watching it because most parents say nowadays it's difficult to leave your kid in front of a TV for an hour and not be concerned what they're going to see, what they're going to hear, and you know, and what's going on, you know. So yeah, I do get new fans all the time, and the show's airing all over the country. It's never been off the air. It's still airing. And all over Europe as well.
So you trained as an actor. You've done really a lot of interesting work, movies, television, theater. I wonder, and I know a lot of actors feel this way about successful roles that they've had. I'm wondering if there's any aspect of you that feels like maybe Chips forced you to be a little typecast because, 4 decades later or more, people are still calling you Punch. Is there any part of you that, while you're grateful for the success of Chips, feels, that you wish you could be known for more than just being Punch?
I could go to my grave happily just being known as Punch, because playing that, first of all, before I almost didn't get Punch because I used to play the stereotypical Hispanic American junkie, arsonist, murderer, badass all the time. So when Chips came around, the creator of the show saw something in on me. He saw my personality, and he said, that's the personality that I want for Poncherello. Now, Poncherello wasn't Poncherello. I changed the name after I got the role, but I almost didn't get the role because the creator of the show wanted me, Rick Rosner, and NBC said, no, we just saw him shoot a priest in Hawaii Five-0 last week. He was a heroin addict in Mannix a week ago. He was in prison in Beretta, and he was a this and that, an arsonist in Kojak, and, you know, all around bad guy all the time, which was what was happening in the 70s with the Hispanic American actors, a lot of them, for prime time family hour type shows. They never had a positive role image that was Hispanic American during when they had the three networks. 8 o'clock Sunday night, the old Bonanza time slot. And so NBC said, no, he's not right for it, you know. And the creator said, look, let's screen test him. So he put me in the uniform and he put me on the bike. And when you saw me, you say, hey, there's a good guy. So boom, I nailed it. I got it. And then when I got it, I signed my contract. I said, it makes no sense for me to play a Hispanic American motorcycle cop. Not Hispanic, Italian, because Poncherello was Poncherelli. But what I wanted to say was, let's change the character to Hispanic American cop and change his name to Poncherello instead of Poncherelli. And boom, they accepted it, and we went for it. And then after me, you know, it was the first time you saw a Hispanic American in a positive role image on a family hour show right after Disney. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day.
That really did change the opportunities for Hispanic actors after that, didn't it?
Oh, well, I think it helped because Eddie almost played a chief of police down in Miami Vice, and Jimmy Smith played a lawyer, and then a police officer, you know, a detective as well. And Hector Alessandro, a good buddy of mine who's always been great guy. Hector Alessandro, fellow Puerto Rican. He was the director of Chicago Hope, the hospital. So a lot of Latinos were getting recognized to play other things than the guy with the knife, the brick, the stone, the badass.
If people are just tuning in, we're talking with Erik Estrada, who is apparently busier than ever. We're going to get into that in a minute. You know, it's funny, Erik, if you look at famous people on television in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, we never saw, Adam West actually don a cape in real life and hang out in a cave. We never, yeah, exactly. We never saw Leonard Nimoy go to space. But you, Erik Estrada, who was so known for being a cop on television, you did actually become a police officer in real life. This, to me, is just so interesting. It's so cool. It's something that a lot of people still don't know about you, believe it or not. Explain to folks how you made that transition from playing a cop on television to being a cop in real life.
Okay, number one, I grew up in Spanish Harlem, 103rd and 1st in the Joe Wilson Projects. Okay, I was born in Harlem Hospital. When I was 4, I didn't become a cop because I played a cop. Being an actor was my second career choice. My first career choice was wanting to be a New York City police officer. At the age of 4, my mother fired my dad because he was stuck on the needle, right? And she didn't want him polluting me and my sister and yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
Then she started dating a cop. And that's where my love for cops come from. And that's where my love for wanting to be a cop all my life as a 4-year-old to the age of 17. I was going to be a New York City police officer because this guy was my hero, you know, as a young boy, not my dad. My dad was a bad role model. He missed the boat. And this guy was wonderful. And for years and years, you know, I wanted to be a cop. At the age of 17, in Brandeis High School, there was a pretty girl, my last year of school, high school, there was a very pretty girl named Christine Laporte. And I would wait after school, after 8 period, she'd come out so I could walk to the bus, the train, or whatever, maybe across Central Park or whatever. She wouldn't come out the first day. The second day, she didn't come out. The third day, I decided, you know what, I'm going to follow her, see where she's going after 8 period, because I know I saw her. I just saw her in the hallways today. So I followed her, and she was going to drama club. And I said, oh, man, if I want to get the girl, I can act. I grew up in the streets of Harlem. I know how to act. So I said, all I got to do is audition, get in, and get the girl. Well, I auditioned, I got in, and I got bit by the acting bug.
And here
Wait
you've
a minute.
been. Go ahead.
And then, so here I was. But my biggest problem then was I had to tell my mother, Ma, you got to live in the projects a little longer. I can't get you out. You know, I said, I want to try this acting thing, Ma. I could make a lot of money, Ma. I mean, if, you know, blah, 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 blah. And no, mijo, no, por favor, no lo hagas. No, don't do it. You know, I said, no, Ma, I got to give it a shot. Let me just give it a shot. And I had, you know, she cried for like weeks. And I finally just made a deal with her. I said, look, Ma, if I can't make any money in this acting thing, I'll come back, go to Albany, New York, by 30 years old, 31 years old, 32 years old. It's a cutoff date to go to Albany Police Academy. And I'll get an apartment. You move with me, and I become a New York cop. But let me give this acting thing a shot. Because I want to get you out of the projects. I want you to live like my queen. I want you to live like you should have been taken care of by your husband. You know, that's anyway. So as luck would have it, I end up as a cop on TV. Ultimately, but before then, I did the Carson Switchblade, New Centurions, Midway, Airport 75, a bunch of independent stuff, and then a lot of episodic TV, and then I end up on Chips. I playing a cop, piece of cake for me. All I did was apply my personality to the character and use their words and put that uniform on because I've wanted that since I was a kid, to be a cop. So it was easy. And I think that's what made him shine really well. And also the fact that the guy that played my partner, Larry Wilcox, was a cowboy from Wyoming. So you got a Spanish Harlem kid and kid that rides a horse and never a bus or a train like I did. And the mixture was great. It was great chemistry, and it worked really well. And, you know, but what happened after that was I did that with Chips, and then for 10 years I roamed around a bit, pumped out 2 kids. Well, I didn't pump them, but I had 2 boys, and I went all over the world and did movies for producers because Chips was so popular in 87 countries. I mean, it was incredible that I got work in any country I wanted to go to. If some producer would hire me to do some film that they're doing. So I did very well. And then after 10 years of Chips, I went ahead and did a Spanish soap opera that was the longest running, highest rated telenovela in Latin television, and still is, 30 years later, still is. It's still number one. You know, most Latin soaps go 100, 120 episodes. Mine went like well over 400. So anyway, and then I wanted to see, if I still had the desire as a 4-year-old, the dream of being a cop, the whole thing, and then being turned at 17 to be an actor, I went ahead to Muncie, Indiana, and I became a reserve police officer. All right? And then I did that for 3 years as a reserve. And then I figured, you know what? I'm a little too old to be pulling cars over in the middle of the night, working graveyard, going to the bars and breaking up fights and all this and all that, and having to cuff people, take them down, put them through the process and all that. I said, I'm a little too old for that. But I still wanted to keep I realized that, you know what? Your first dream is your best dream. And I wanted to be a cop. I still am. I am a ICAC investigator, ICAC. I'm a deputy sheriff in this Commonwealth state of Virginia. And I work ICAC, which is internet crimes against children.
Yeah, that's outstanding. God bless you for the work you're doing in that respect. Speaking of children and the work you're doing for them, I got to ask you about this terrific book. My friend Valerie Smaldone brought it to my attention, and I know you're working with.
She's a saint.
Oh, she's the greatest, and a real radio talent, someone I really look up to.
Oh,
as
I
a
heard from
broadcaster.
back in the day. That's what I heard.
Yeah, she's terrific. So let me ask you about this book, Officer Erik and the Very Special Dad. It's a children's book, but it's such a unique and meaningful project. What drew you to this story? And obviously you're the Officer Erik involved. And why was it important for you to be a part of it?
Well, because, Valerie, her husband, great guy, but, he had MS and he passed from MS. And I've had a lot of personal encounters with MS. My wife of 31 years now, married, had 6 brothers and 5 sisters. And one of her sisters was affected with MS lightly, but one of her brothers, Michael, was incredible. When I came on the scene 31 years ago, this guy was playing basketball, playing guitar, just being a guy and doing the whole thing and having a great time. And little by little, I saw him deteriorating and falling apart until he passed. And that affected me because my wife loved her brother very much, all of them. And Valerie said, why don't we write a book and make it about MS? We'll include you as an officer and we'll go out and show and teach and educate young people from 8 to 11. An easy book to read with pictures and educate them about MS and how to live with it and how to deal with it with disabilities and to honor the people with these disabilities. And I said, sure, I personally have a relationship with it, had a relationship with it. And I know your husband, and yeah, let's do it. And that's why we're doing it. And also, whatever we sell a book for, half the money goes to MS.
Yeah, I didn't realize, as I indicated a few minutes ago, that March is MS Awareness Month. But it's so great. It's something that a lot of our listeners, I think, are struggling with. Either they themselves or they may have family members that are similarly affected. So the book tackles chronic illness in a way that's both uplifting and empowering. In terms of your own experiences, especially with a family member diagnosed with MS, that must have made you pretty enthusiastic about doing this in the first place. But the character in the book of Officer Erik is loosely based on you, not just your acting career, but your real-life experience as a police officer. How much of you do you see in this character?
Well, all the do good. Because listen, people become first responders, firefighters, nurse, EMTs, cops, because I feel they have an overdose of compassion in their DNA. They want to do good. They want to be good guys. They want to be good guys. They want to be a hero in their own, to themselves. So they want to help, and they want to give, and they want to protect and serve. And I've always been that way. I've been on the streets since I was 5. I used to sell snow cones at the age of 5 with my grandfather up and down Spanish Harlem in the summers and shine shoes at Columbus Circle and everything, So, and becoming an actor, playing a cop, allowed me to move my mother to 57th and 8th Avenue on the 27th floor overlooking Central Park, the Share Field. It's still there, the building.
This episode is brought to you by Loom by Atlassian. Are you feeling stuck at work? Get your team unstuck with Loom video messaging and move work forward. Use Loom to simultaneously record both your screen and yourself to share a quick update, provide feedback, train a colleague, and everything in between. Plus, add Loom AI to your meetings for instant written notes and recordings. Try Loom today at Loom.com. That's LOOM.com.
This episode is brought to you by Buick. When you have 4 new tires, every drive feels fresh. Right now, buy 3 select tires and get 1 for just $1 during the Buick Certified Service Fresh Start Tire Event. Visit Buick.com/service offers or see dealer for full details. At participating U.S. GM dealers only. Highest or equal value tire will be $1. Offer ends 5/31/2025. Not available with other offers.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
Well, that is extraordinary. I know. I know a lot of people aspire to do that very same thing and are not always successful. So God bless you. You're really an inspiration. So, speaking of inspiration, I got to talk to you about season 2 of your show, Divine Renovation. It blends home improvement with a spiritual feel-good element. For people that haven't seen the show yet, what's been the most rewarding moment for you while working on this series?
Oh my God, it's more than one. I mean, there's just every episode will tear your heart out and put a smile on your face at the same time and make you grab a tissue. It's watching the faces of a mom, that dad, or a child with an illness, or a wheelchair-ridden person stuck to the chair, and just watching when you first meet them, and then when we get the job done, we put in a ramp so it's easier for them to get in and out of the house, and we'll put in a ramp that's removable so that if you move, you can take it with you, or you go in and you put a new kitchen in there for them, or a new floor, or you take the backyard and you make it child-proof, child-safe for a child with autism or Down syndrome. And the parents, you just watch the parents. And what makes the show really special for me is the parents of the guardians of these younger people that we help, also the mom and dad in the house, is the way they light up from the inside. And you could see it on their face. You could just, it's like a light coming out of the top of their heads. They're so happy and different than when I first met them, after we've completed what we want to do for them, what they allow us to do for them, That's one of the special things. But you got to be there to feel it and taste it, in person. And that's one of the wonderful things. And just what we do, it's such, God, and it's needed. It's so needed.
Yeah, well, that's great. And if people haven't seen the show, or even if they have, they can absolutely check it out on Amazon Prime, Season 2, Divine Renovation. But in both your book and your TV work, there seems to be this common thread of promoting kindness and helping others. Is that something that you consciously seek out in your projects?
Well, it's something that happened when I was a kid that I never forgot. When I used to sell snow cones with my grandfather, they were nickel and a dime cups, those little cone cups. And then we had a block of ice, and we had different bottles of water, old Pepsi Cola bottles, big ones, or Coca-Cola ones, full of different colored waters. And people would come up, order one, he'd shave it, put it in a cup, put whatever flavor they wanted on it, and the people would give me the money, and I put the money in his pocket. And after a full day of doing that all day in the hot sun, walking up and down 116th Street, 125th Street, wherever we were up there, Lenox, all of it. On the way back home, after the ice is gone and we're pushing the cart back to the projects, he would, if he saw a child on the street crying or dirty hands, dirty face, and crying, he would go up to that child and just grab their hand and put it and reach in his pocket and grab a handful of money and put the money in the child's and say, in the child's hand and say, "Here, go get something to eat. Stop crying." Not even knowing who that child was or whatever. He would just do this. And I would watch him. And I just look at it. I was young then, 5, 6, 7. I just look at it. And then when I got to be around 13 years old, 14 years old, I realized what he was doing. He was trying to teach me, aside from being the kind of compassionate man that he was, trying to teach me to help those who need help if you can do it and when you can do it. And I've always had that mentality, always had that, in the back of my head. I mean, I punch you out, but I've always had that feeling.
Erik, I've really enjoyed this. Before I let you go, and I hope you'll come back in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to.
What's one message you'd like listeners to take away from your journey, your career, and these new projects? What's the key takeaway for it all from you?
Well, how do I incorporate all those things you said to say that after doing all that I've done and what I'm doing and what I continue to do, I'm still the deputy sheriff in the state of Virginia, and I still do that work. And, and then I also do speaking and other stuff and Comic-Cons and car shows and TV and movies and stuff and commercials. If you'll notice, my car shield commercials starting to be rolled out right now. I did 4 commercials for them, so you could be seeing me a lot. Car shield, that's a good thing. Anyway, so I would say that get up every morning, forget yesterday, get up for that day to accomplish what you want to accomplish the next day. But get up, grab your rifle, and go. Go and do it. How do I tell you that if you, just cherish every day that you can, because every day can belong to you if you handle it that way. Cherish your birthdays, cherish the holidays, cherish those that you love. Don't forget to say hello, goodbye, good night, I love you, night, bye-bye. Be nice. Do it, because the other side, there's nothing there. There's only in giving and doing and going forward. That will keep you alive and well and happy and a smile on your face.
That's wonderful. Wonderful message. Erik, I hope we can chat again. Thank you.
You got it, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you. If you want to comment on any portion of our conversation, you can give me a call, 646-720-0635. That's 646-720-0635. This is The Other Side of Midnight. Straight ahead.